Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 15 of my Traveller's Notebook with Freckled Fawn series. And today I am working with white cardstock. I've really run out of the pattern papers. I've only got a couple of bits left, so I'm going to use some white cardstock and use up some of the bits that I have left from the embellishment kit. So I'm scrapping a photograph of my brother and my little dog, and they don't really get on. Treacle's scared of most men. I have no idea why. She just developed this fear after about a year, and so we try and sort of get her around as many men as possible, just trying to get her used to them. And yeah, so my brother and her were in a loving embrace, and you could sort of tell from the angle that with her ears pricked up that she was not comfortable, but there's not really much else we can do. He actually dog sat our two dogs for a day whilst we went off to London, and by the time we'd come home she was curled up on his lap, quite happy. And then as soon as she sees him again, that's it. Well, not him, but as soon as she saw him again on this occasion, she just forgot who he was, and yeah, went back to her sort of, I wouldn't want to say scared self, but just, yeah, she's really wary around men for some reason. I have no idea what it is. So I grabbed this snap of them in what I would only describe as a loving embrace. I think it's a love-hate relationship. I think my brother must love my dogs, but I don't think Treacle loves him, unfortunately. So, as I said, I'm just using up bits from the kit. I do need to disclose that Freckled Fawn has given these kits to me to produce some layouts, the new advertising laws and all that. Just to let you know that this weekend there will be an announcement on the winner of the giveaway. So the giveaway is now closed. The $50 Freckled Fawn gift card. So the announcement will be up this weekend for the winner of that. It will actually be a weekend of giveaways this weekend on my channel, because I've got my thickers giveaway that I've been really poor at sorting out, so that's going up as well. I'm also redrawing the winner for the Maggie Home sticker book, because the winner didn't step forward and claim it, so that is going up as a redraw as well. So yeah, weekend of giveaways, so make sure you keep an eye out for those announcements on my channel to see if you are the lucky winner. So as I said, I've worked with some white cardstock here to almost create my own backgrounds, and I've done this style of diagonal strip before, and I did it with ribbon. And I thought I'd use up some of the washi from the kit. So I sort of took inspiration on the there was a pattern paper from the kit that had a diagonal green box on, and I thought, well, I'm going to recreate that with the washi strips. And you can see that I've actually reused some of the packaging to back my photo, and that's a great way to be able to use up every last bit of the kit. So it had this ready pink pin stripe, diagonal stripe on the card insert that was in the packaging, so I thought I would use that. And I placed one of the little silver labels down underneath the photograph at the bottom, because it was quite white on white, and even then I wasn't absolutely happy with how defined the line was around the photograph compared to the white background. So I just used a fine line pen and did these little crosses all the way around the top and the bottom edge, and then that gives you that definitive line around the photo. So now I'm going to add in some embellishments, and I've put a little wooden heart on, and also a couple of enamel dots. And I wanted to bring some of that black colour in, and I'm going to bring some black over to the left hand side of my layout as well, which you'll see shortly. So that is that side done, and then I'm going to work on the left side. So throughout this series I'm trying to show you ideas as to how you can use the plastic pocket page traveller's notebook inserts in different ways, and you don't you don't necessarily have to scrap just within the pockets. So excuse me, I'm so sorry. So on this one I'm going to make it interactive. So I've got this white tag from my stash, and it's just a old Studio Calico one that I've got hanging around, and I'm using the red alphas on this. I would have used the black ones, but which is my absolute fave, but I'm out of the letters that I am going to need to create this title. So, well, it's sort of a title come a bit of journaling as well. I took I saw the word from the white foam puffies that said hope, and I thought I could incorporate that into my title, and it says, I hold out hope, one day they'll be friends. So I knew that this going white on white, it was going to get lost. Same issue as my photo. So again, I'm just bringing in that black fine line pen and just doing a bit of a squiggly border around the tag. And in addition to that, that will give me my start of my black over on my left hand side. So this is where I'm going to come in and make the interactive element. So apologies that this becomes slightly off screen whilst I'm doing this. I do find that I've actually zoomed in a little bit on this video to try and give you a little bit of a closer angle. So I'm still messing around with the best angle in order to film at. And before I do that, I'm just adding in this silver label. So we've got the silver on the right. I needed a little bit of silver on the left as well, and I'm using that. That will be a date stamp. Now, whilst filming this, I completely lost my tiny attacher. So I have since found it, so panic over. But I would normally have popped a small staple through that. If I was going to add a staple on, I'd normally use my tiny attacher. But because I couldn't find it, it was under the mound of scrapbooking supplies that I had to the right-hand side of me. I just came in with a normal staple, and I popped a staple through there. And then I just added some enamel dots onto the bottom left as well to almost create my third cluster of enamel dots. And then just some black and white twine from my stash is going to go on into that loop. So this is, so I'm happy with the right hand side. I wanted to keep it as much white space as possible, so I don't want to do anything else to that side. And that left side is going to go in the pocket as well. I needed to cut that down a tiny little bit, but I forced it in anyway. So yeah, this is where it becomes interactive. So I'm going to add journaling on. Now, obviously, if I put the tag in the pocket, that's going to be extremely difficult to either pull the tag out every time you want to read it, or sometimes you might not know that it's actually there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using just a scrap of washi just to hold my tag in place. And then what I've done is I've taken the other green strip, as you can see on the right hand side. I've taken the other green strip and I've cut it down into two, and I've put one on top of the tag, and then I've flipped it open and I've put the other half underneath it to secure it all in place. And you'll see in a second how that looks when I actually move it back in shot. There we go. So yeah, on the left, and I wanted a bit of a wonky washi strip. I didn't want it absolutely straight. And yeah, so just tying my tag off there. Prefer the look of a bow sometimes in my tag. And yeah, so having that washi tape on the inside and the outside does mean that it is secure, and the washi is so strong that I'm not concerned that that it's going to come out or fall out. And you could always do something like some stitching through it if you wanted. Obviously, just make sure that you haven't got anything on the other side before you stitch through. or you could add anything to hold it in, but I think that washi is strong enough, and I give it a good tug just to make sure it's not going to come off, and it appears absolutely fine. So I'm just adding my journaling in, and I use a 0.5 I think to add that in, and then I come in with a 0.1 just to give it some underline, just to give it a little bit more interest. And I think this layout is pretty much done. Just to let you know, the $10 off a $30 order, the code should still be working, so that's all in the description box down below for you. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all again for another video. Bye!